Islam, Shalom, Hola, Aloha, Bonjour, Osio, Assalamu Alaikum, Konnichiwa, Jumbo, this your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor, coming to you live in full effect. Like, share, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell down below so you can be notified whenever I'm dropping some new content. Leave a comment, interact with me. Thank you, I really do appreciate your viewership. Let's jump into another one.
Hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. And what? Like, this is crazy.
Oh yeah. I did it like it hadn't been there that long, but I came up here the other day and stood across the street and got some shots.
This is crazy.
Awesome.
Like, how bold could you be?
I know. You wouldn't think it. It's like I didn't even see it. I saw somebody else out here standing up here looking at it. I was walking down the sidewalk over there. I was like,
it's like premeditated because it's like we just got the verdict from the Cyrus Carmack Hilton. There's no way you could have done that this quickly. So, you know, I don't call myself an influencer, but I have a few million views between my videos. So I'm going to give you all the publicity, all the attention that you have been wanting, because this is disgusting. This is fucking disgusting.
I couldn't believe it when I was coming down the street.
Like, is this... I care about y'all and I love y'all. Yeah. Yeah, you don't unless you really look at it. Hurry up and buy.
My car right there, it won't probably be one.
Yes, sir. Hurry up and buy. With two little black boys and an Asian man looking like hurry up and buy.
Y'all have no idea how many videos I've gotten from people on social media about videos about people talking about we need to boycott Asian stores because of the most recent verdict about Rick Chow killing a black child over a $1 bottle of water, which he did not steal. The kid did not steal anything. They chased him down the street, found not guilty for killing a black boy. And there's so many videos about let's boycott Asian business, let's boycott Asian businesses. I'm here to be the asshole and the pessimist. We're not going to boycott Asian businesses. You know why? Asian entrepreneurs, particularly Koreans, hold dominant control over the retail and distribution segments of the black hair care and beauty supply industry in the United States. There are over 9,000 Korean beauty-owned supply stores in the US, serving $1 billion market for black hair products. I genuinely hope to be proven wrong, but y'all think black women are going to ignore that they're going to boycott their own fake hair that we've been begging them for all our lives to get rid of? You think they're going to do that over some 13-year-old black boy? Y'all go ahead. I hope this is the moment that we will rise and stand up. But boycott Asian businesses, for y'all, I think it means let's not go to a Chinese restaurant no more. No. Boycott Asian businesses is to make sure Asians stop making billions off of us. And where's the biggest market? The black hair care industry. So the question now is, will the black woman finally embrace her natural look to hurt the Asian businesses who don't give a fuck about us, who see us as something to kill? I don't think so.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a good view of this, but I'm so proud of these young people right now. Don't mind my cracked windshield. I'm so proud of them now. They found out that that man owns this wing shop also. Not just the gas station. I'm so proud of them babies. Let me get... All I can do is honk my horn, but I'm going... That's all I can do is honk my horn, but yes, baby, we gonna honk for them, baby. I'm so proud of these young people out here. Yes, indeed. Now, that's the gas station over there. And if you know me, I talk about this all the time because I used to go there before he killed that man. I'm so proud of these babies. They shut it down.
Children don't get to be innocent. America has shown us time and time again that they will put a child's blackness before anything when deciding whether or not that child gets to live or die. You've seen that in the stories of Emmett Till, George Stinney, Tamir Rice, Michael Brown. On March 16, 1991, in Los Angeles, California, 15-year-old Latasha Harlins walks into a convenience store, and from the moment she walks in, she's racially profiled. The store owner accuses Latasha of stealing a $1.79 bottle of orange juice. Latasha says, no, she's not. I'm going to pay for it. The store owner then grabs Latasha, grabs her backpack, and when Latasha tries to walk away, the store owner shoots her in the back of the head, killing her instantly. $1.79 is all Latasha's life was worth. And even worse, the store owner gets 5 years probation. No jail time. That sounds real familiar to the story of Cyrus Carmack Belton, a 14-year-old black boy who was accused by a gas station owner in Columbia, South Carolina, of stealing a water bottle. Cyrus didn't steal the water bottle. He ran away, and the gas station owner still shot him in the back. And that murderer was just found not guilty. When you're a black child in America, you better grow up quick, because you don't get to be innocent.
Special thanks to the 4 or 5 subs who are always watching my content all the way through. I really do appreciate their watch time. Hey, we're back at it again. Hopefully you enjoyed those clips at the beginning. I might show some at the end to help drive my point home, but it's kind of like a lot to talk about. I've been noticing some things lately, and I want to bring them to your attention. I'm not really sure how I feel about all of this. It's still, things are still being processed because, it's kind of like an ongoing event. So there's been a lot of talk about this, like stop the hate, Asian hate bill, court cases, a whole lot of stuff coming from one direction. All right. So we know a few years ago they did the Stop the Asian Hate Crime Bill, and then like funding was given to certain Asian communities and businesses, stuff like that. They were doing patrols around Asian communities, saying that people were being targeted and stuff like that. It seemed a little far-fetched or inflated, if you ask me. And then there was a concerted effort of people trying to reverse affirmative action, all right? So it was led by groups of Asians, all right? So one specific Asian person or several specific Asian people couldn't be targeted individually. So they filed lawsuits in a group as far as to bring these cases to the courts and to stop the affirmative action of like getting accepted into Harvard and these other Ivy League institutions, right? So once that went through and they removed affirmative action, it seems, the numbers of them being admitted into these schools still didn't really increase. But guess who was still getting admitted in the same amount of numbers, so-called black people, but yet they were saying that they were specifically being discriminated against in favor of so-called black people, all right, in favor of the Moors of America being accepted into these institutes of higher education. So historically, just a few years, this has happened, all right. Bills has been passed for this community of people. It seems, it's their turn in line to become the next group of whites, all right, because we know this caste system is separated from, white and black, desirable and non-desirable. So it's like the next group being inducted into whiteness to forward and to push white supremacy seems to be the Asian community, at least the ones who are on board with it. All right. So I'm going to bring up a few things I've noticed. I've been collecting these ideas over the past few months. All right. There was an incident a few months ago about K-pop being really big and being popular, right? Korean pop music, which imitates late 90s R&B music, rhythm and blues, that whole vibe, that whole energy, that whole feel. was copied by K-pop, right? It was mixed and matched and fashioned to fit them, but they just put a different face on it, right? So one of these big K-pop groups came out with a song where they were saying my nigga, something like that, nigga, whatever, using a slur. But when they were confronted about it, they tried to clean it up and say that they were saying my neighbor, because in Korea they were saying that the symbols or the forms for that or the way it sounds is very similar. They were saying my neighbor, but really they were clearly saying my nigga, which they have no business saying, unless they are pushing white supremacy, anti-black racism. Honestly, they have no cultural connection to it, no historical connection to that word or any type of use for it other than to push anti-black racism, white supremacy, and they're not paying homage to the people who they got this music from. All right, so that the K-pop music thing that happened. It's like they came and went. It was blowing up on online in the viral community. Japanese Twitter last month went crazy about how Japanese people were commenting, saying that how they were somehow afraid of so-called black people in Japan, how that they were nervous being around them, and they likened so-called black people to Viltrumites, a fictional alien race of like supermen, of superhumans, and how they were very intimidated, and they think how so-called black people could easily just overwhelm them if we decided to get violent or anything physical. So pretty much we were being vilified, and the response from the so-called black community was, how can you vilify us when we weren't the ones who dropped atomic bombs on you? And I was like, that was a great response historically, because you don't see too much vilification of so-called Europeans by dropping nuclear weapons on their communities. You don't see it. You just don't see it, right? In large numbers. So that was something, because come on, Japan is one of my favorite Asian countries, honestly. So it was that. So we already have Korea, I would say South Korea, and then we have Japan. All right, that's two. Recently this month, there was this viral thing about this so-called Natasha doll, some small stress relief doll of a melanated baby, and it's being abused, and it went viral on the Japanese version of TikTok, the Chinese version of TikTok, which is called Red Note, and then it started to spread to the American TikTok over here, right? So this Natasha doll is it comes in many different shades and skin tones and varieties, but it seems these Chinese people were always using the melanated baby one to abuse it. So much that even the Chinese government came out to condemn these videos. And it wasn't because of the racial undertones, it was because of the violent undertones. They were saying that this could promote violence, but no mention of the so-called racial aspect of it. All right, so South Korea, Japan, China, it really seems like there's a concerted effort to get so-called Asians and so-called black people to fight, right? To have some kind of conflict. And it doesn't get any better, because with the murder trial of young Cyrus Belton at the hands of Rick Chow and his son, a lot of people are really, really upset about that man being acquitted from the murder of this young man. it seems to mirror the actions of that happened in California from Latasha Harlan, and back in 1991, a young girl who was shot and killed in a convenience store owned by the Asian community, an Asian woman. She was shot over a bottle of orange juice, and this young man was shot and killed over an alleged bottle of water, which he did not take. Very, very disheartening. People are very upset about it. People are boycotting, which, hey, I can say more power to the people. You know, it's time for our money to circulate. Too bad it has to come, you know, with a tragic event like this, you know, with a type of martyrdom, right? Along with that, there was a man who came out, an Asian man who came out with a video saying that he can't wait to hear black people, so-called black people, talking about boycotting Asian businesses because of what we're going to do about our nails, the weaves, all the Jordans and sneakers and everything that's made over in China and other Asian countries. He was like, he pretty much dared our community. Like, what are you going to do about it? Dared our community, and everybody got up in arms and responded. Yo, the response for this is really the wave. It's from now 2026 all the way to the future. It's really time. It's a real wake-up call for the community, and it's about time that we all get on code and start to operate. I don't want to make this video too long. Let me know what you think about these events down below. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, this is your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor. They're always trying to silence voices like mine, so go ahead and hit that notification bell and share this video. Peace.
Asians and Hispanics be on white people dick too much for me, because I've seen Asian people come out in protest of black people getting reparations. Has nothing to do with them. I've seen Hispanic people come out in protest of black people getting reparations, and it has nothing to do with you. Now, I've also seen the latter, or the whatever. I've also seen on the opposite end of the scale, some people of color in agreement that black people in America should receive reparations, right? Dr. Claude Anderson formulated the FBA to establish a group here in America of people that descended from slavery for the purpose of receiving reparations. And that's spiraled into whatever it spiraled to, because, you know, the CIA. And everyone seems to fear a black economic stronghold or black economic power, because everyone knows we don't really need them. So they tirelessly try to keep us dependent on them, and they do this systemically. And they do this through a brainwashing of sorts. So by always giving other minorities or people of color somebody to look down on, well, if black people get repaired for what's been done to us. And I would make an argument that at this point, not only reparations for slavery, but reparations for Jim Crow and reparations for the crack epidemic. Everybody seems to have an issue with the black economic independence. And I'll say this because they understand the game. They understand that if black people start ascending economically, well, we won't be at the bottom of the totem pole, and one of y'all niggas will. That's the only way this thing works. That's the only way this system works. It has to have somebody at the bottom. It has to have somebody to punch down on. You niggas come over here and y'all get real fluent in the punch down game. And for whatever reason, we always seem to be the victims, and we ain't did shit to none of y'all. White people oppress you as well. And white people oppress themselves. Yet all the fallout seems to come on black people. Everybody knows we don't need them. They need us. They need us for civil rights. They need our energy. The entertainment don't hit the same. The fashion ain't talking about shit. The entire structure of America can be traced back to the genius of black people. The Reconstruction era was dependent on ex-enslaved people for their skills, and then disenfranchised formerly enslaved people because they had these skills. So when we go do it on our own, and then we're punished for it, then we're made caricatures of, we're made to be demeaned and disenfranchised, or we'll just take 95 and put it right through your neighborhood and displace tens of thousands of people and destroy historic businesses and properties. Let's take a trip back up 95 to Wilmington, North Carolina, my hometown.
Hey, let's do it.
In 1890s, Wilmington, North Carolina was boasted as one of the most successful black communities in America. Black citizens made up majority of the population, owned homes, ran successful businesses, controlled black-owned banks and newspaper, and held prominent civic and political offices. The demographics in the 1890s was over 56% of Wilmington's population being black, and black Wilmingtonians worked as professionals, including doctors, teachers, and lawyers. They were highly skilled artisans, brick masons, blacksmiths, and carpenters. Wealthier black citizens and independent business owners chartered their own banks. For example, the Metropolitan Trust Company, and successfully pooled resources to build and invest in their neighborhood. They had civic power, where African Americans held positions across local government, including aldermen, policemen, magistrates, and postmasters. And here comes the coup. This is the United States of America's first coup d'etat.
Yes.
The same thing these niggas are about to be paid reparations for. The 1898 Wilmington Massacre and coup, the economic and political success of the black community was perceived as a threat by white supremacists. On November 10th, 1898, armed white insurgents violently overthrew the legitimately elected local government. They massacred black residents, burnt down prosperous black businesses, forced black leaders into exile, and the event remains the only successful coup d'etat in American history. The Shell Island Resort was, despite the destruction of 1898, black entrepreneurs in Wilmington continued to build generational wealth in the early 20th century. In 1923, a group of black investors formed the Shell Island Beach Development Company. They created a highly successful luxury coastal resort for African Americans. The resort featured summer cottages and attracted thousands of visitors across the eastern U.S. before it was burned down under suspicious circumstances after 3 years.
I know it was suspicious.
I bet it was suspicious.
Yeah.
Oh, it couldn't have had nothing to do with that successful coup.
Yeah.